Most athletic directors across the state of Michigan are elated with the return of winter sports next week, but that does not mean their jobs are getting any easier. A lot of sleepless nights as they worry not only about testing, but also getting their winter sports schedules completed over the next week or so.
I was up this morning at 4:15 just because I couldn't sleep.
There were no interview questions about any of this when I interviewed for the job.
My wife has become a little used to me having to step out and take a phone call during bedtime or whatever that with the kids.
Despite Thursday's announcement of winter sports returning, athletic directors across the state are still left with a lot of questions ahead of Monday's start date.
Things around spectators, masking, the pilot testing program for sports other than wrestling. What does it look like for cheer?
Some teams are going to have to go into quarantine, and we got to work out what happens when that happens in terms of conference standings and things like that.
Questions also remain about the amount of spectators allowed at the events. East Grand Rapids Athletic Director Tim Johnston is in his 38th year of educational athletics, and like his colleagues, he is still searching for answers before next week.
I'm not going to put out there that the basketball game Wednesday night against Byron Center, I can have 500 guests. When it really is, I can have 2 per kid because I'm going to upset a lot of people.
Some sports will have to be tested on a regular basis, including wrestling. But fortunately for Hamilton's Jordan Banstra, Todd Conrad of Mona Shores, as well as Johnston of East Grand Rapids, they've all been through this before with their fall teams that had to be tested weeks ago.
Once you get rolling with it, it's pretty seamless. And I think there's a little more anxiety to it than really needs to be.
By the end of it, the actual testing part was pretty quick, but the data entry is the big thing on the back end for the athletic trainer. It's a pretty cumbersome system to get the data entered.
And of course, there are the problems with the last-minute scheduling for winter sports as well, as some ADs scramble after already rewriting their schedules 3 or 4 times.
At this point, we're not going to do a 5th rewrite. We're just going to try to make as few changes as possible.
Feeling good about where our schedules is at. I got to make a couple calls to some local ADs this afternoon yet to lock in some basketball dates.
It's a thankless job with insane hours, especially right now, but the athletic directors say it's all worth it for their student athletes.
We've said for weeks and months that if we just get the chance, we're going to do it right, and we've got that chance, and that's our commitment to our community and our kids.
There's not one that will say we're not going to do it. We're going to do what it takes to get our kids an opportunity to participate.
Zach Herrick, Fox 17 News.